Good day everyone, I'm Rosa Panuba from the SEE1A. So this is the lecture 3 about electricity, example 5.1. The force on the electron in hydrogen. A hydrogen consists of a single proton and a single electron. The proton has a change of Te and the electron has minus E, and the ground state of the atom, the electron orbits proton at mass probable distance of 5.29 times 10 to the raised power of negative 11 m. Calculate the electric force on the electron due to the proton. So by solving the solution, or the equation, which is Q1, Q to the raised power of 1, which equals to negative 1e, equals to positive 602 times 10 to the raised power of negative 1 AC. And for the Q2, which equals to negative E, equals to negative 602 times 10 to the raised power of E. And for Q3, which equals to 5.20 power of negative 11 m. So by the ato gamiton ang column of the law, which is kanisha distance to distance, or the two columns, which is the left side and the right side. So by resolving kung ano siyang isolve, so F, which equals to 1 over 4R EO LEL to the raised power of 2 over R2, which is which equals to 1 over 4R 8.85 times 10 to the raised power of negative 2 C2 over NM2 602 times 10 to the raised power negative to the raised power of negative 19C, which is ato ang Q1. Ano man siya? Itong Q1, so ato i-copy. And for over 5.29 times 10 to the raised power of negative 11 m squared, which is kaniya to Q3. So ato na siya is squared, and then maka-arrive ka answer nga 8.25 times 10 to the raised power of negative 8 Newton. Dayon prior po na siya, ato na siya i-bring down dani, or then siya R reduce F, which equals to 8.25 times 10 to the raised power of negative 8 Newton R. So this is the continuation of lecture 3, example 5.2. The 3 different small charge objects are placed as shown of figure 5.17. So ato siya na makita nato na siya sa figure 5.17. So the charges is Q1 and Q3 are fixed in place. So Q2 is the free to move. So ang Q2 ang free to move is given Q1, which equals to 2E, and Q2, which equals to negative 3E, and Q3, which equals to negative 5E, and that A, which equals to 0 times 10 to the raised power of negative 7m. What is the net force on the middle change Q2, or middle charge Q2? So solution. So F, which is the distance, kani ato gamiton sa first equation, or so ato ang gamiton ang katong columns of the law. So two sides, so which is kani two columns of the law. So F21 plus F23, ang distance nila negative of which equals to 1 over 4 or E, and Q1 over R2 21. And for joules plus negative, so positive dani, and for sa right side is negative. So 9 rather, Q3 over 3 to 23. So F2 times plus F2Y, So maka-arrive the answer ani sa ato kani first steps. Then for the second step, x at fx, which equals to negative f23 minus 1 over R809293 over R223. Negative 899 times 10 to the raised power of 9 and M2 over C2. So, which is kani, ang mao ni ato ang 9A ay 91 Q1 and kani for 0.806 times 10 to the raised power of negative 19C, which is our Q2, and for 8.01 times 10 to the raised power of negative 19C, which is our Q3. Dayon na ato, dayon ni siyang substitute or i-times na siya, then maka-arrive ang 4.00 times 10 to the raised power of negative 7 M2. So, kani sila, ito ni siyang i-simplify 10 to the raised power of negative 14n for Fy. So, kung kani ato ang magamit na nato ni silang equation, or dayon makakuha na din taning mga answer nga 3.46 times 10 to the raised power of negative 14n f, which equals to f2 times f to the raised power of 2y equals 4.8 times 10 to the raised power of 14n, and for tangent negative 1 fy, which equals to fx, which equals to tangent negative 1 3.46 times 10 to the raised power of 14n over negative 2 plus 6 times 10 to the raised power of 14. So kani sira there ni siya gikapi ang ato kani answer nato sa ikaduhang equation or the kaduhang formula. So muna siya, and then maka-arrive din yung tag-answer nga negative 58 Celsius negative 58 Celsius. So by above of the x-axis, so kay ang 58 degree Celsius kay kung man siya sa x-axis, above of x-axis man siya, so man siya. So continuation for lecture 3, example 7.4, calculating energy. So you have a 12.0 volume or V motorcycle battery that can move 500C. So ang motorcycle battery kay ga move siya 500C. So of change and AR 0 negative V car battery that can move 60,000 C of change. How much energy does each deliver? So assume that the numerical value of each change is accurate to the three significant figures. So which is the solution is Q, which equals to 500C, which is the move of motorcycle. So or the motorcycle battery, which is 500 C, and for 12.0 V delta U cycle, which equals to 500C. Ato ni siya i-break ang 500C copy, then kaning 12.0 which is ato ang volume nga 12.0 V. So kani siya dayon ato ara gyapon ni siyang which equals to 5,000 C 12.0 J over C. So makuha na ni siya, ato na ni siya mabutangan, ma-arrive na nato niya ay copy na. Then 6.00 times 10 for rather 6.00 times 10 to the raised power of 4 joules. And for the equation 2 or Q, for the car, so So, for the car, sa katong una is motorcycle battery mani siya. So, for the car battery, so makakuanta siya og 60,000 C. So, can move P of 0V car battery that can move 60,000 C. So, money siya ato ang second equation. So, car, so delta U car which equals to 60,000 C, which is kani ato car. Dayon ato dito i-copy ang 12.0 V, so which is our volume. So maka-arrive yung tag-answer nga ato ni siya is maka-arrive yung tag-answer nga 7.20 times 10 to the raised power of 5 joules. So continuation for lecture 3, example 75. So how many electrons move through a headlight each second? So when a of 12.0 volume car battery powers a single 30.0 minus 10 to headlight, how many electrons pass through it each second? So delta U or Q delta U delta V Q, which equals to delta U over delta V. So values ni siya, values. So Q, which equals to negative 30.0 J joules over plus 12 V. So which is kaning 30.0 J is our headlight or the battery powers of the car. And for kaning 12.0, which is our volume, so ano siya copy 3 negative 30.0 J thus over plus 12.0 J over C. So copy, and then ma-arrive the answer nga negative 2.50 C. Therefore, number of the electrons of NT charged by a electrons. So Na mo ni siya, Na which equals to negative 2.50 C over negative 1.60 times 10 to the raised power of negative 19 C over E. So which equals to 1.56 times 10 to the raised power of 19 electrons. And for the last example of lecture 3, example 9.5. So first is current density resistance and electric field for current charging bar. So calculate the current density. So ito i-calculate ang current density and resistance and electrical field of a 5 points meter. Of a copper wire with a diameter of 2.053 mm, 12 gauge of carrying of current 10 mm. So by the solving of this formula and or equations, I over A, which equals to 10 times 10 to the raised power of negative 3A. So ato ni siya 10 times 10, which is ato ni siya square root 10 times 10 negative raised power of negative 3A over 31 times 10 to the raised power of negative 6m2 word dayon mo ni siya ito ni siyang 10 times 10, so which equals times 10 3A over m2. And for resistance, which equals to P2 over A, which equals to 1.68 times 10 to the raised power of negative 8. Resistance M, 5.00 M, which equals to 3.31 times 10 to the raised power of 6 M2, minus 0.025 resistors. So the resistance of the wire is manisha, 0.25 resistor. So E, which equals to PJ, or the P joules, which equals to 168 times 10 to the raised power of negative 8. So kani ato siya i-bring down, and then kaning 3.02, which is ato ang current of density kani times 10 to to the raised power of 3a over m2. Dahil makaiarrive din the answer na 5.07 times 10 to the raised power of negative 5v over m. So that would be all for the lecture 3 problem sets. Thank you.